Tim, George gets his first 100-yard game of this season. I mean, how nice is it to see him out there healthy and carrying the load again?
Yeah, he's obviously a huge focus for us offensively. I mean, if you count the punt returns, I think he touched the ball 33 times for 230 yards or something like that. So he's obviously a tremendous player and even better person and a great leader for us. So, yeah, it's awesome to see him healthy and doing his thing.
What was there for George this week? Wasn't the first 2 weeks?
I think it was just still a rhythm thing offensively. Again, I think the first game's, people may not want to hear this, but it's a little bit of a wash. Just we had such a poor start, and once Talon went in, things were a little different. So that was a hard game to judge, even though I think it's proven Oregon State's pretty darn good. And then the front of New Mexico is so exotic that it's going to be real hit or miss. So by the time our O-line got in a good flow, Ashton happened to be in on a couple of those. But this week, yeah, we got off to a much better start with the run game, offensive line, just identification, those kind of things, and I think our offensive line is just gaining more confidence with our new wide zone scheme that we've put a lot of focus in. So I think that's only going to keep growing as they get more rhythm and confidence with that, because it's a difficult run scheme, but we've invested a lot of time in, and it just takes some rhythm and timing for those guys, and for the backs too, just to get used to reading that track and how it flows. So that was good to see.
So much was made in the offseason about George Lonnie's, body armor and getting his body right and getting him healthy. Now that you put him through this first real test of the season, it showed up in practice, 100% all good to go, and you anticipate on building on that?
Absolutely. I think he's feeling great. We got to do a good job protecting him, obviously, and that's what Ashton and the other backs are there for, just to give him enough so he's not getting worn out. And I think KB's doing a great job with those rotations, because we still want to get Ashton plenty of touches, as he's shown to be explosive too. But yeah, we're always hoping to get him in at least 25 touches a game in some category, and we've been right around there the last 2 weeks, which is good. I think so if we can keep building off that, find different ways to get him the ball, obviously he's a big focus of what we're doing.
Where guys throw the max?
I have to look at the numbers, Bob. I don't think so. I mean, that's always been a focus of the offense with as much of the 5-out stuff that we do, that they're going to be involved in the pass game. And both those guys are such good receivers that it'd be a shame not to use them, because we can get them matched up on linebackers and that kind of stuff.
Often comes out kind of a quiet, reserved guy. After the game, he had a smile on his face, and he felt great. What was it like to see that out of
Bless you. George cares a lot. He's a great leader that way, and his commitment to our team and the values that Andy's put forth, he's front and center with that. I know he felt a little burden on last year that he couldn't help as much as he wanted to. So I just think he's found a lot of joy in being able to be out there again. And again, he's a great pass protector too. I think that doesn't show up on the stats, but he does a lot of things for us offensively that elite tailbacks will do.
In the first half last week, I mean, you guys were running 2 tight ends like, I guess, 40% of the time. You had a pre-snap shifter motion almost 55% of the time. You put up 250 yards, and then in the second half, the 2 tight ends go way up. Your pre-snap shifter motion goes way down, and you don't have as many yards. Can you kind of help us understand why there was that shift in the second half?
Yeah, it's a great question. I think early on we had a lot of shift in motions, and it actually was hurting us, even though it didn't show up maybe on the stat line. We were getting big plays, but there were some things from identification standpoint when we would shift, as screwed up as they were getting defensively, it was also messing with our targeting in protections and run game. And so we tried to run some of the same run schemes, but just line up so our guys could see it and make identifications. And we felt like we were wearing them out in the run game. And again, the third quarter is definitely an area in that game where we'd like to have it back. The first drive, we get a first down right off the bat, run the ball pretty well. We go to call a big play action shot. We're feeling good about it. And, we just get beat in protection and we fumble the ball, and now it's 2nd and 40 or whatever it was, So those kind of plays are going to kill drives. And then had a couple incompletions on the second drive. Now we're 3rd and 15 again. So we just, first half, did a great job staying on schedule and being able to mix things up. And in the third quarter, we just got off to a tough start there. And that's something that we can't do. We got to stay consistent throughout the entire game, and was happy to see us finish a little better. But the first half was a good sign that we're growing and we're finding some rhythm, but we got to do it consistently, obviously, for 4 quarters.
When you put that many, 12, 13 personnel out, it's like line is struggling. I mean, that's at least on the outside. Is that accurate?
No, I think the real reason is they're an odd front defense, and a lot of times the edges of the defense are going to be different when you're playing an odd front. So if you don't have a tight end in, then you got a loose edge, and now you got a stand-up player that's going to be in space that you got to either reach to or you got to have someone come back for. If you have two tight ends in the game, you can secure both edges. So it just helps the run game and it helps in protection. And they're playing so many guys in the box that, you put more guys in there, they're going to bring more guys down. And we were hoping to get more shots over the top and took a bunch of them. We just didn't hit as many as we were hoping to. In the first half, we hit a couple. In the second half, we missed them either with protection or just didn't complete the throw. And with the commitment that we have to the run game now, we got to hit those shot plays to be able to stay balanced, and stay out of those second and long. So every time we call a shot play, we got to cash in on those.
Where does that? I mean, you were mentioning it last week. Like, you're a guy who comes from wanting to throw the ball all over the yard, and then in this Boise State thing, it's they talked about on the broadcast. You guys are trying to create a new identity as this power run team, run it all the time. I mean, what is the the balance for you of like, hey, I grew up wanting to throw the ball, and then now it's like, oh, we're gonna run it a bunch.
Yeah, it's not about what I want. It's about what's best for the team. And I think we saw last year that there were some games early in the year we might have thrown for 400 yards, but I think we had less than 100 yards rushing. And I'm getting signs on my car, and they're going to burn our house down for not running the ball well. And so I think it's a balance back and forth of trying to figure out what's best for our team. And our best player is our running back, and our offensive line does better when they're aggressive and can come off the ball and run the football. And protections become easier because you can play action now and you can keep more guys in for protection. And if you get into a drop-back world, there's some of those things you're going to give up, And so I think it's just the identity of our team that we really believe in here, that we got a great defense, and if we can protect the football and grind teams out in the run game and impose our will physically, that fits the identity of who we have right now and what we want to be. And, that's our focus. Doesn't mean we don't want to throw the ball. No one wants to throw the ball more than I do. But it has to be what's best for our team. It has to fit within the game plan. And I'm still very confident that we'll have some good days throwing the ball. Haven't had those good days yet, and that's frustrating for me, obviously, and frustrating for all of our guys. But that, again, I think it's going to come as we gain more rhythm with what we're trying to do. And we have made a big shift offensively from schematic and what we're trying to do. Put a lot of work into that, and it's going to take time. It's going to take time for us to build rhythm there. But I think what we saw this game was there was some balance and some rhythm in the first half where, if we're putting 250 yards up in a half, that's really, really good out of that system. And, with the way we're huddling now and going to get less possessions, we got to make sure that we're, every single play is going to matter, and we got to make sure we execute that consistently to the best of our ability. But again, I think our defense is so strong that even in this last game, the average starting point for the other team was inside the 20-yard line. Even one of those plays, I think it was like 3rd and 30, and we threw a screen to George, and he got a gain of like 20. So we're punting, but we're punting from the 45-yard line. So now James can pin them, and now, again, they got to try to drive 80 yards on our defense, which I don't think a lot of teams are going to be able to do. So got to play the game to win the game, and it's not about putting up gaudy stats. Sometimes it's about winning football games. And we saw last year that when we run the ball well and protect the football, we can win a lot of games.
More times in the huddle, how is that helping the specific defense? Offense.
Yeah, I think with the amount of checks we're doing at the line of scrimmage within the run game, and again, I think when we go really fast, again, last year it might lead to us having higher statistical numbers, but now you're playing more drives and you're we got defensive guys that might be cramping out or things like that. And again, it's about our team, by changing up the tempos maybe sometimes and huddling up. That's different for the defense too. They got to wait for us to break the huddle. They can't see our formation. When you go no huddle, you're showing them your formation ahead of time, but you're making them make calls faster. Now you're huddling. They don't get to see the formation. They have a little more time to get set. So now you got to shift in motion and play that game. So it's either way how you do it, you still can create issues. And we're hoping to, continue to build off of that, multiple tempos, and try to keep things off balance.
And what do you see in UTEP? What did they do best?
Yeah, they're an aggressive group. They got a lot of good athletes. I think their linebacker core is extremely athletic, and their front, they got some talented guys up there that can cause issues. They do a good job of mixing in their coverages, and I think they do good in situational football. So they'll be a tremendous challenge.
I know you joke about people putting signs on your car and stuff, but I mean, when the offense isn't maybe going as well as some people like, the OC is an easy guy for fans to target. I don't know whether it's your wife at the grocery store or your kids at school or anything. You're obviously in a big position here. Maybe it's not going as well as some fans would like. How's that for you to take?
That comes with the job. You know, the only thing that worries me sometimes is what they say to the players, maybe, you know, because these guys work really hard and they deserve support from the fans. But as an offensive coordinator, that comes with the territory and the history here and the tradition here of great offensive play. The standard is extremely high, and all I would say to the fans is, you know, if we're not putting up the numbers or putting up the stats, definitely come after me. It falls on me, and I'm going to work as hard as I can to get it better. And but their standard will never be as high as my standard for myself and for the offense, and that comes with the position, and that's the right of people to have any opinion that they want to have. And but yeah, it's definitely can be stressful on a family, but that comes with the territory, and that's what we sign up for.
You mentioned maybe the stats not being as gaudy, but I mean, in the end, I know as a football coach, you just want to win the game.
Yeah.
So how do you balance, I guess, that the fans wanting 50 points and 500 yards versus an ugly win, so to speak?
Yeah.
You guys got the job accomplished.
Yeah, I think they've seen such great football over long periods of time that their expectations are extremely high, and I love that about being here. You know, I want to be at a place where the expectations are high, and they do put pressure on me and our guys to play at a specific level. But for me and for our team, at the end of the day, it's about winning football games. You know, if we win a Mountain West Conference championship and a bowl game, and we do it with the class and integrity that we talk about, that's our end goal. You know, and I'll take a win in any form or fashion. But obviously, I would love us to do a lot better offensively and put up big numbers, and I think we're capable of doing that. But we got to do it within the rhythm of the game and do it in a way that helps out our entire team.
We're 3 weeks into the season, and Hank's been up and down, the highs and the lows already so far. Where's his confidence?
Yeah, I think Hank's doing a tremendous job of blocking out the noise. He definitely has things he has to deal with outside of here that comes with playing the quarterback position, and but again, I think he's growing. I think he completed 70% of his passes last week, and we missed a couple that I know he wants back, and those are things he's going to hold himself to a high standard. And I'm really proud of him for his response and how he continues to build and help lead the offense. And he's a tough dude mentally and physically. He's been through a lot, and I hope people see that and support him and know that how important he is to our team. And when he's playing at a high level, obviously we're going to be a lot better for that. So love Hank, support Hank, and want what's best for him. And I hope everyone would agree with that and share that feeling.